like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming today. We've got several people here that are dignitaries. John Stempel is here. We all work with John a lot, working with our abandoned houses and fighting blight in the city. We've got John McColgan here, our county prosecutor, and we have the city manager, Tim Morales, and of course, our mayor, Dennis Browning, who will come up and do some speaking in a few moments, as well as Mr. McColgan will give a few words. Again, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming today. This is a very, I should say I call this an historic day, because this swearing in is a little bit different than most swearing ins that we have in the past. Brandon Jebb, why don't you step forward for a second? We'll put you up here and make you stand up in front of everybody. You turn around, put your hat on so everybody gets some good pictures of you. There you go. I forgot to mention also we have Lieutenant Konjorski over here and Lieutenant Bell, who is here also today. Brandon Jebb, I've known Brandon for a long time. Matter of fact, when I first met Brandon was probably about this tall. Now he's up there a little bit. And the reason I met Brandon is because Brandon's mother worked for the police department. She worked there when I started there about 23 years ago. And you worked there for a long time. Shelley, how long? Yeah, that was a long time at the police department. Yep, 1977. And Shelley worked there for all those years. And Brandon's stepfather, Mike Jarabek, who's sitting in the back, worked at the police department for years. 4 years. And even one prouder moment, Brandon's grandfather was a chief of police at the Saginaw Police Department from March of 1979 through January 2nd of 1983. You've got some big shoes to fill. Big shoes. And I hope he carries on this rich tradition. In the late 70s, early 90s was not a good time for the city of Saginaw. The police department at that time had around 200 officers, a little more than 200. And again, at that time, there were some economic issues going on in the economy, which put a strain on the police department. Brandon's grandfather, all he did is negotiate and work with people being laid off and brought back to work. It was a very tough time. But those of us that lived through that period of time in the late 70s, early 80s understood the economic crunch. It wasn't just the police department, it was everywhere. Money was tight. This is totally different nowadays. You're coming into the department at a point in time when we're in a growth mode instead of a declining mode. You are the 20th officer that I have hired in the last 2 years since I took over as chief. The 20th. And we are definitely in a growth mode. Next year, I would estimate that we're going to hire another 5 to 6 more, and probably 5 to 6 more the year after that. Of course, our main goal is to increase the size of the department so that we can better serve the citizens of Saginaw. Eventually, we're going to have to do that. The state police are not going to be here forever. And at this point in time, we all know that we can't live without them. But eventually, we're going to have to stand on our own 2 feet. And we're going to have to increase the size of our department so we can maintain control within the city and respond to the citizens' complaints and needs. You are the future of the police department. A lot of things have changed over the past few years. Just in the last 4 to 5 years, policing has changed as we all see it. Totally changed. We now have to be more of a user-friendly with the citizens who are our customers. We have to be more of a customer-oriented police department. We have to be more transparent. The culture within the police department is changing, and it has changed in the last few years. And that is very, very important for our existence into the future. Policing has changed. You have to grasp that, and you have to understand that it is going to change even further into the future. Part of this new transition and the changing in the police department is traditional policing. Is you'd be in your police car driving around taking care of calls for service from individuals, going and breaking up fights, going to shootings, homicides, calls like that. Very rarely would you ever get out of your car and talk to individuals. That's one of the things that we've changed nowadays. I want you to get out of your vehicle. I want you to go in and sit down in a restaurant, eat with the citizens, Let them see you, talk to you. Have them ask questions of you, and you give the answers as well as you asking questions of them. Become more user-friendly with the citizens. Also, get out of your car, talk to the people at the schools. Be more engaged with the neighborhood associations. We have to be more transparent to the community and the public. And we do this by communication, by talking to people. That's the way it's done. And that's what I want from a department standpoint, and that's the way this department's going. So I urge you to become very familiar with your citizens and treat the citizens the way that you want to be treated for yourself and your family. One thing, however, has not changed over the years, and this goes all the way back to your grandfather. We may have changed the culture within the department, the way we operate and function and the way we communicate with citizens. One thing that has not changed, we don't run from crime. We don't run from trouble. We go to the trouble to help save people's lives and to help citizens that are in need. And I wish you many more years into the future with the Saginaw Police Department. And you're the future of this department. You and all the other 20 young people that we've hired in the last few years. You're the future. And in the next, I would say 5 to 6 years, the department will totally change over. There'll be 100% new people here within that period of time. And those that came in this first group of 20, you're going to be the future. You're going to be the future of the department. So make sure you keep those thoughts in your mind about how to treat people. And we don't run from crime. We don't run from danger. We run towards danger. Keep up the good work, all the officers in the audience, and good luck to you. I hope you have a good career. I'd like to bring up John McColgan, our prosecuting attorney for Saginaw County, to say a few words.
Thank you, Chief. It's an honor to be here this morning. As you all know, I hold you all in the highest regard. As the Chief said, when everyone else is running away, you are running in. For that, you have my utmost respect. Did my heart well yesterday to be listening to the radio and hearing one of the people involved in the New York stuff. And she said, "Thank God for the police," about 5 times. And that's the way it is. If we didn't have you, where would we be? Officer Jeb, you're coming from a great family and you're joining another great family. Law enforcement, it's the best part of my job to be able to be involved with you. Shelley, did you start when you were 12? It's an honor to be here and welcome you. Chief, you gave me goosebumps when you said you've brought 20 people in. It's just wonderful. Keep up the great work. Wish you all the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And now our mayor, Dennis Browning, who is, for a mayor, has probably been at more swearing-in ceremonies than any mayor has in the history of the department.
Yes, thank you. Officer Candidate Brandon, wish you well. You know, I made a pledge a long time ago not to talk about the good old days or the olden days. I used to hear that a lot, especially as a rookie. You would hear that from your other officers. But today I do get to talk about a little bit of history. I am so proud to be able to be a part of that. Brandon, I joined the police department in 1969 as a police cadet. And one of the first persons that I met was the sergeant, Charles Campbell. And soon after that, in July of 74, it became Lieutenant Campbell. And certainly was just a super person to be with our police department. I'm very honored to be there in 1974 when he was promoted to Captain Campbell. And then, of course, again in 1979 as our chief. and an outstanding, and it was a very tough time. As Chief had mentioned, when I came on the police department, I was number 214. And there was still people on the list down from that, so it really grew there. I think we had up to 7 canine officers. We had our own helicopter. Things were good. And then all of a sudden in the late 70s, early 80s, we were hit with a depression and the loss of a lot of people. I remember Chief Campbell never had a chance to hire a new officer. He did bring officers back from retirement, but the Saginaw Police Department at that time went through a 9 years without hiring a new officer. We were able to bring back some of our, those that were laid off for 9 years. And so I had a chance and a wonderful opportunity to work with your grandfather. And there's a lot of resemblance here, I'm telling you. There's a lot of resemblance when I look at him. I go back quite a few years. So, and you've also had some other, much other support. I remember a rookie who joined our police department. His name was Michael Jerbeck at that time. As a rookie, joined our police department and watched him develop through the years and become sergeant and just a role model for so many of our officers. So you are joining a great family here. You have a lot of mentors sitting right here in this room here. These other officers are going to be your mentor, and they're going to help develop you into the officer, and especially with our command. We're so proud of our command staff also, and the accomplishments they've made over the year. So you need to be safe out there, and at the end of the day, your goal is to go home. And that's what we like to see. So with that, Officer Candidate Brandon Jebb, congratulations, and it's time to make you an officer.
Thank you, sir.
Our city clerk, Janet Santos, time to swear him in.
I do solemnly swear that I support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully perform the duties of patrol officer for the city of Saginaw according to the best of my ability.
Okay, you got to sign the book. And while he's signing the book, I guess we could have the proud mother step forward, who's going to pin the badge on. If anyone wants to take pictures, they can come up closer, Mike. Brandon, why don't you stand right here where you were earlier? There you go. And then your mom can pin the badge on. Yes. One thing that I forgot to say is Brandon is going to have the same badge number, number 120, that his grandfather had when he was on the department. Thank you, Shelley. Brandon, would you like to say a few words? We'll put you on the spot.
Okay.
Hey, when will they have one getting sworn in? You know, I'd like to throw you out there and see if you're a communicator with the public.
Okay. I'm not usually good at public speaking, as my fellow recruits in the academy know, but I just would like to say how honored I am and thankful to be a part of this department. It really means a lot, and I hope I can live up to the hopes and the dreams that I aspire to, and all of you wish for me as well. So that's it.
Good deal, thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations. And just a little bit off twist here, I just want to remind everybody, since we have an audience here, on Thursday of this week, the 22nd, there is going to be a fundraiser for Tracy Stoppa, who had a stroke here at the police department probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Her situation's gotten a little bit worse, and the family is in dire need of some funding. So at the American Legion Post 439 at 5190 Weiss Street, this Thursday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., there's going to be a fundraiser. The fundraiser is being put on by 2 of our sergeants at the department, Sergeant Schmidt, who's sitting in the back of the room, and Sergeant Diane Mealeader. So if everybody could please attend that and donate all the money you got in your pocket, that'd be great. I'm sure that they'll need it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming today. I know this is a very proud moment for Brandon and his family, and we'll give you a few minutes to take some pictures with the family if you'd like. I think our flags are back. Yep, they're there. And they make really good pictures when you take them by the flag. They look good for the future. And this is a moment you're going to remember the rest of your life. So get a lot of pictures of it. Yes, sir. Get a lot. Congratulations, and I thank everyone for coming. Thank you.